Hey everybody, this here's Mike at Hawk and Wolf Outfitters and Hawk and Wolf Knives. Today it's a little video about some knife stuff. So come on with me and I'll get you shown on to what we'll be putting out and what we're going to be doing today. So stick around. Alright, well that was quick, wasn't it, man? It's like it didn't even move. Yeah, I moved a little bit. I just basically paused the camera out. Up front, we have the Kepharts. These are a convex Scandi grind. They're very sharp. They're one of my favorite grinds for a knife. It's got the little spear point. It's a 4 1/4 inch, a little under 4 1/4 inch blade, and a little under 4 1/4 inch handle. The handles on each one of them, the wood took its place. Some may be just a little bit thicker than others. For the price point that we were putting these in, I made sure they were comfortable in the hand. Not so much that they were symmetrical and everything of that nature, but they're phenomenal. In fact, I'd keep all of them if I could. But this one right here, the walnut that you'll see on these here, they'll be spaced and put on them as well. Those walnuts, that this tree was cut and it was estimated to be about 100+ years. It was cut in 1988. The person that cut it was a cabinet maker, and he also run a sawmill. That's just the way things used to do back then. You pretty much went and harvested your own wood, and you learned how to dry them and things of that nature. Well, he passed away several years later, and his son took his footsteps into the portable sawmill and the cabinet making and tool and die and several other things like that. So the story behind that is I went over there, was picking up some lumber for some building stuff, and he said, "You still making knives?" I said, "Well, I got some wood right here." He said, "I'd like to give you a couple of pieces of it." So he ripped them down for me into scale sizes on his big machine and stuff that he's got, and he handed them to me, and he said, "My dad cut these in 1988. They've been drying since 1988. And he says they're phenomenal wood, and they are. They look beautiful. I've got one other. This is a signature bushcrafter style knife right here. It'll be on the website as well with a sheath. But that wood it just feels so good, and it looks real good as well. But that was the story behind that wood there. Now the rest of the woods is stuff that I have went and purchased, and I do the same thing, which is why a lot of people ask a lot of times, well, how can he make those knives that cheap? They must be junk. No. I cut you corners and me corners by cutting savings by doing the work myself. I can go get a board that is 6 foot long, that is the same materials that everybody else is buying from all the other companies, 3/4 inches thick, and have book matched pieces by splitting them on my bandsaw. It takes me on the average of about 1 day to make about 600 sets of scales. And that's why I can afford to do this and give you a good quality knife at an affordable price. And there's a lot of other things that I do. I'm not looking to get into the part of being so big that I have a year to 2 to 3 to 5 year wait list. That's not me. That's never been my goal in this. It's never going to be my goal in this. I've made my fame and fortune in the retail industry. I did it for 27 years. This is a hobby turned passion. Well, a passion that turned hobby, that turned into being able to help me with a supplemental income. And when you start being pushed and worked and the hiring and putting other people in, things start happening, and it just really becomes a headache. I want more time in the woods. That's just the bottom line. But a lot of the stuff that I do is because the whole thing, anyone that knows me, if you know me and you've heard it before out of my mouth, put a comment down at the bottom, because I want other people to know that I'm not baloneying this out. My goal has always been to give everybody a good quality knife at an affordable price and not to be rich. No, all the other knife companies that are out there, they're not getting rich either. They just have more demand, they have more overhead, so they're paying out all this extra stuff and they're still making the same thing that I am. I've always said, and every knife maker that I've talked to that has been doing it for 20 plus years, every one of them says, don't leave, stay where you're at, because once you step into the other end of it, he says your life is gone. And that's not what I want. I want to have fun. I want to be able to get with you guys, give you a good knife so you don't have to work 6 months to pay for it, and you can come back in 3 weeks and buy another one and go like, wow, I've got 8 knives now. So, but anyway, let's get back to what we were originally started with on this. So the Kepharts, they'll be coming in this style right here. As you had seen them, this is an Amazook wood. Each one of them will have a different price. There's a reason, because different scales at different lengths of that board have different features that are very uncommon. You may have a nice burl that had grown on the side and you have some good tight burl wood grains. Naturally that would bring more money, so naturally when I use that I don't charge you the full price, but I do increase the price because you have a unique knife that's probably going to be the same style but will not look like that ever again, because chances are nature won't duplicate it twice. Another one that is in the walnut, the black walnut, this here is a Scandi grind. My friend Donnie Pavellini has one of these right here in the Scandi and he says he loves it. I've played with one, I like it. I'm more of a convex type grind person because I can do a lot more with it, from meats, potatoes, cooking, cleaning, washing, and doing all that other stuff. When I'm out there with my fish and things, I can get in there and do things that I want to do with it more for me. Scandi for a wood eater, oh, yes, go get you a Scandi. This wood is 8670 steel. It's a high carbon steel. It's made right here in Georgia. It's made from a sawmill company that makes sawmill blades, or they make the steel for the sawmill blades. Sawmill blades are made to eat wood. Bushcraft knives are made to chew through wood and cut rope and fibers. So we're good to go, right? Make some meats and cuts like that. Will they rust? Yes, it's a high carbon steel. Will it rust while you're sitting there looking at it like 1095? No. You don't keep oil on it and you get it out 8 months later, you've been in a moistured climate, you may get spider-webbed rust, you'll see. Ability is great. You can take this stuff up to 61, 62 if you choose to do so. I don't recommend any bushcraft style woodsman's knife. For my personal use, this is just mine. Anything over 60, anything. I don't care if it's high carbon steel, if it's the new 3V, if it's, I don't care. 60, we're done. 61 is max. That's just my preference, but that's me, and I only make them, and I don't do a lot of the other stuff that somebody else may need that stuff for. And a kitchen knife, shoot, yeah, let's get that thing up there, because you're cutting meat, you're cutting potatoes, you're not slicing through grains of wood that are hard, you're not beating into the side of a tree or something other that you may choose to do. Padauk wood, I love this wood. The longer it stays, the more color you get. It just changes colors. It never stops. I mean, it's just constantly going. But the feel on these knives are great. I mean, you got a thumbing here if you're doing something this way. Up here, you've got just enough of a rise in it to kind of stop it. It's not a ramp, it's just a little bit. You flip it over, you've got enough here if you're gutting into something to skin it out or do that. You've got it inside of it. The handle fits just comfortable. You can get back here more if you're just wanting to knock a few little notches into a streak, if that's what you're trying to do. That's not the intended purpose for this knife. It's really just an all-purpose knife. That's why he carried an axe. That's why they carried a lot of the other stuff that they had. Padauk, another Padauk. As you can see, this one here has a deeper for that person that has a little bit bigger hand. I've been running into this a lot, so I just decided all of these knives are going to be a little different to help fit that person better. It doesn't matter what knife I have, it's going to be right for me because I manipulate the knife. I don't let it manipulate me. But this one here is another convex candy grind. As I had said, the difference is in the woods. This is Amazook as well. So it's got more of a burlish looking stuff to it. So naturally it's going to be a little more. But it's also got the signature on the back due to the fact it is more custom made. Only because of the scales. It's more of just, I mean, it's a good knife. And plus with my name on it, if I ever lose it and it doesn't sell, I'll know it was mine. But here's another Amazook as well. It's in a convex Scandi grind. Now, what I do want to say with these convex Scandi grind, depending on how they sell will determine if I ever make any more in that. Now, the Kepharts and the Nesmics, I generally do the Nesmics once a year and the Kepharts twice a year because I do a lot of variations on the Nesmics. The Nesmics will be the next big 10 to 15 push that I'll be trying to do. I'm not doing a pre-order on these here or anything of that nature. The ones that you see here, that's just out the door, and then I'll determine where I'm going to be at in July when I start making other things to just combo out like this. So just keep that in mind. Lace wood, I love it. Convex. Lace wood is just, I mean, it's got a unique, just, and it feels so good. Nathan 4071, he's got one of these. From my understanding from his videos, he loves the feel of the wood. It just really grips well. Scandi grind, it's in the lace wood. And this one right here is going out to Bruce. It'll be in the mail with all the rest of these here. This one's going out to have a custom leather sheath made by Drew at Rafter 3. All of these are going to have him making them. Here's another custom that I did, and it's more of my bushcraft style type knife. It's got a little bit of a thickness up here in the handle, and then it tapers down for you to get up in here to be able to have control when you're working the knife instead of just not having it inside of it. But I mean, the balance on these knives are phenomenal. I mean, it doesn't matter where they're at. If it gets a little slip in your fingers, I mean, they'll come back. You can still work them. I mean, it's just, I do this all day long with every knife that I make. And when I feel something other cocky, crooked, or something that doesn't feel right, I work on it. That's custom. That's not production. And I think that was it. Yeah. So these are all going to Drew at Rafter 3 Leatherworks. Check him out on Facebook. He does great work. Check him out on YouTube under the Southern Bushman. You'll see some plants as his face photo thing that's on it. But I'll try to put a link down here at the bottom as well. I'd like for you to check his channel out. Check out Bruce over at Fab Creations. I got a video coming up. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. I've gotten one of his stoves and I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with it. A lot of folks talk about weight and stuff. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not hiking 600 miles, so don't confuse the two. Don't confuse the let's go hiking half a mile into the woods with I've got to cut my weight completely down. If you're hiking across the Arizona Trail like my friend Ethan Chaput or Chabot is doing, yeah, let's watch some weight because you're going to be gone for 6 months. Watch the weight. The rest of it, oh, come on. How about a little bit of thickness and hold that heat in there and not use as much fuel? Now we just save some time too, so you have to know which one you're doing. Also, Nathan, with his ferrule rods, I've got to get with him. We've been selling some of the 3/8 here, and when all of this stuff here gets sold and done, I got to get with him because I want to continue to make some more of those. My ferrule rods, I don't do them like everybody else with the turning handles. I make mine smaller to kind of fit down in it. But those ferrule rods that he gets, I don't know where he gets them at, and he probably never will exceed to tell us that secret, but there's some great ones. I want to give a little bit of a shout out too for old Chuck over there, plain old Chuck. He has supported me for a long time. I watch all of his videos. Sometimes I watch them in the house, but anyway, plain old Chuck, thank you for all that you've done for me. Thank you, Nathan. There's so many names out there. I even got a good friend named Lon, and man, me and him, we chat every night, and he's made some purchases from me as well. But pretty much thank everybody that has supported me through all of this, for all the channel work that I've done, for all the knife making, supporting me whenever I didn't know what I was doing, supporting me and giving me those fabulous lies that they're great. And then finally we all succeeded and we made it. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Check out the website. It's www.hawkandwolfknives.net. It'll be about a week and a half, 2 weeks, depends on how fast Drew can get these things done, but I think you'll be impressed with the price, the quality, and the leather crafting that you're going to get for these. It'll be something other you're going to want to start putting a few dimes up to get, so that you'll have one of the only runs that'll probably be of this style right here in this category where they're made up into that. So guys, thank you again, and I'll catch you guys on another video.